What's up, guys? So happy to be here. Happy New Year. It's been a while since I've recorded anything, and today I want to do kind of something a little bit different. Rather than just like tips and things like that, I kind of want to go through, and I've been thinking about doing this recording for a while, and I just haven't come up with the best way to do it, and I think I'm just gonna roll with it. Um, So what I want to talk about today is basically the mechanics of of how this manifestation, reality creation, whatever you want to whatever you want to call it, how does it work? And then I'm going to talk about one technique that I use that I've been using recently, and it's been amazing. It's been, it is so easy and so simple, um, and it works wonders. So stick around, check out this. I'm going to guide you through some of the theories that I've heard, have read, and studied. Obviously there are probably an infinite number of ways to explain how all this works, and there's infinite ways of thinking about how it works. This is just purely my version of it. This is my interpretation of it. So check it out, think about it. Maybe you'll have your own version after this, and let me know. Okay, so let's just dive in. All right. Okay, so I want to talk about this book that I came across a couple years ago. It's called Stalking the Wild Pendulum, and it's a pretty interesting book. I mean, it's kind of out there. There's a lot of mathematics and physics and things in there, but I'm not going to go too deep into the details here. But essentially, this is this guy really kind of walks you through the mechanics of how your brain, your body, your physical body, your brain has a direct link to consciousness. It explains what consciousness is, on all different types of levels. The evolution of your consciousness, the evolution of your body. But I think the part that I really want to talk about today is that if you have to imagine that your brain and your spine, okay, your spine acts like a radio. The analogy would be like a radio antenna, okay, and your thoughts are translated into frequencies that are magnified from your spine, the base of your spine, to the top of your head, and those frequencies radiate out into the universe. And so I think in this book, or maybe a different book, there have been scientists who actually kind of measure the radio waves, and they are able to measure things, thoughts and different patterns and different frequencies. So it is a physical thing that's happening. However, I don't want to go too deep into that stuff, but definitely this is a great book to check out. Just kind of give you kind of basis of understanding of how this all works. So from there, I've been reading a lot about, the mechanics of reality creation, manifesting, and you have all types of people out there, YouTubers, talking about your 3D brain and your subconscious. And so I like to call it the logical brain. This is your, this is what your identity. This is your brain, part of your brain that does all the sensing. What you see, what you smell, what you taste, what you feel, everything in your 3D sense. Okay, even your feelings of fear or anxiety, excitement, all those things. Um, this this part of your body, this brain, is what basically makes up who you are and how you experience life in a 3D plane. Okay, you can also call it the self-identity, the ego, because everything that you're experiencing, everything you're seeing, everything you're feeling through the logical brain, it's processing all of the inputs, right? And that forms beliefs, which then form who you are. Okay. The other half of this is your subconscious. So this is a part of your brain that's on all the time. Okay, this is on all the time. And your logical brain, by the way, is only on while you're awake. When you're asleep, it shuts off, and you go into a dream state, which is your subconscious. And so this is really important to remember. Okay, this is just a very important part, that your logical brain is with you. It's part of your identity. While you're awake. Now, when you're dreaming, maybe some of those beliefs might influence your dreams. I'm assuming that's how it works, but yeah. But anyway, so the subconscious is the part of you which controls your bodily functions, your breathing, your heart and everything. And you're not even thinking about it. Okay, these things kind of go on. But at the same time, your subconscious is also connected to the superconscious of the universe. Some people might call it infinite intelligence. Some people call it God, heaven. Some people call it universal consciousness. Whatever the terminology you want to use, your subconscious part of your brain is connected to that always. You're part of it. I shouldn't say connected to it, but that is who you are. And that's who you are. That's who I am. We're all connected to it all the time. That is who we are. The 3D logical mind is just there to kind of, I guess, kind of like you're the monitor. If you think of it as a computer, that's the monitor where you can kind of see things. But anyway, so going back to this. So the mechanics of how it works is your beliefs of who you are, what things happen, get fused or filtered down to your subconscious, okay? And your subconscious takes those beliefs, and it's because it's connected to the universal consciousness, infinite intelligence, whatever. The frequency. Okay, you have that thought. Okay, your thought, the belief. Okay. Let's say your thought or your belief is, I'm a successful person, or I am not a successful person, or I have lack in my life, or whatever it is. You have that thought, you have that belief. That's part of your identity. That frequency is now emanating through your spine into the universe. And as it goes to the universe, it gets unfolded, and then you see that in reality, into your 3D world. Okay, so it's a constant feedback loop. Okay, and so what you see, and then you believe, and then becomes reality. And so, like I've said this in previous videos, seeing is not believing. It's the other way around. Believing becomes what you see. Okay, so you got to reverse that. You got to remember that. And so the key to how all this works is if you can just think about this. Okay, you just think about that feedback loop. Okay, so it starts with a belief, a thought, that goes to your brain, your spine, certain frequency, goes to the universe. Then the universe makes it into your reality. And then your logical brain detects it happening. Okay, and so that's it. I mean, that's what people talk about in terms of different techniques. And so one of the techniques that I keep hearing on YouTube is affirmations. Let's take affirmations for an example. So how does that work? It does work. But how does it work? Okay, so you say something to yourself. I am abundant. I am abundant. I am abundant. I am loved. I am loved. You say that over and over and over and over and over and over and over for hours and hours and hours or whatever. Eventually, that kind of sinks into your subconscious. That goes out, frequency, boom, it goes out, and then becomes reality and it appears. And so it works. But then it doesn't work. Maybe it doesn't work because your logical brain kind of takes over at some point during your day. Your logical brain takes over. It's like, that's great, but really, I'm like, I have no money and I need money, and nobody, that person doesn't like me or whatever. And then guess what? That translates and boom, frequency, subconscious, universe unfolds. That's your new reality. Okay. So how do you get out of this constant? So the problem with affirmations is it's not a long-term strategy. It's not a long-term solution. Okay. So there's a couple things you can think about. Like one of them is, people talk about living in the end, living in your subconscious, and your 3D world is just there to observe. Like, just disregard what you see. Focus on what you want, and live in that end, and that eventually will become your new reality, right? And so that's another technique that works. Being in the flow is essentially kind of letting go of that logical mind and being in the subconscious and being connected to the subconscious, and getting away from the 3D worlds and focusing on what you're doing, what you want to be, and things like that. So that's another technique, and that's how it works, right? So all these, if you look at every single type of manifestation or reality creation, everything that anyone says on YouTube, it all comes down to this same concept, right? This the mechanics of it. So if you think about the mechanics and you kind of focus on it, I mean, I'm more of that kind of person. Like, I need to have a visual diagram or some type of flow chart or something, a framework, whatever. So that is how I think of it. That's my framework and how it works. So recently, the past month, I've been trying a new approach, and this kind of takes into all these concepts and puts it together, and it makes it really fun, interesting, and I'm getting amazing results. Things that I want to happen are happening right away. So I want to quickly kind of talk to you about this. Maybe I'll do a separate video on it. But I'm just going to kind of walk you through it. And yeah, I hope you give it a try. So first of all, again, so you have your logical brain and you have your subconscious. Okay. And so the key here is to, by the way, I mean, if you want something to happen quicker, faster, there is no time really in all this reality creation. But if you want something to happen, I don't know how to say it. Like, I guess in a stronger way, it's you need to tone down the logical brain. Okay, that's all the noise that's coming in there. Okay, that's all those noise and filter. You got to tone down and turn off that noise, and send out a pure frequency from your subconscious of the thoughts that you want. Right. So how do you do that? So one technique I've been doing is it's basically kind of like a deep meditative. You get into a deep meditation, okay? And this is also a technique that Neville Goddard talks about. He talked about talking about living in the end and his visuals and his assumptions of everything before he goes to sleep, okay? And so I'm doing essentially the same thing, but in a slightly different way, okay? So what I am doing is I'm getting into deep meditative sleep state where I turn off the logical processing, the logical brain, but I am still awake in the sense that I am awake in my subconscious state. And at that point, I have a direct connection, peer connection to infinite intelligence, universe, whatever, um, to ask whatever I want, and it happens right away. So it's a beautiful way, and I trust me, and give it a try. And so this is how it works. Okay, so so let me break down how it works. So you want to lie down in a comfortable position on your bed or on the sofa or whatever, or it could be even if you're in, pull over. If you're driving, you just pull over for like a nice safe place. Kind of rest your head, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, let it out. Take a deep breath, let it out a few times, okay? And this is your logical brain, by the way, controlling your breathing. Now, what you want to do is you want to turn off your logical brain, right? So take a couple deep breaths and then stop telling your body to breathe. Okay, this might seem kind of weird, but just stop telling your body to breathe. So you're not breathing at all. You're not telling your body to breathe in and out. Eventually what's going to happen is your subconscious is going to take over, and yet automatic breathing is going to kick in. Okay, you're going to be breathing in and out. Don't try to control the breath. Just let it come in and out by itself, and just focus on the breath coming in, breath coming out, breath coming in, breath coming out. Now, your logical brain's probably going to have some thoughts, which is okay. It's going to, oh, I really should be doing this. What am I doing? I'm wasting my time. I got to call this person. I got to do this. Can't believe this person said this to me. Well, it's going to have 1,000 thoughts are going to be racing across your brain. Totally okay. It's part of meditation. Just kind of swipe them away. Imagine a hand. I'm a visual person, so I imagine a hand, and I'm just kind of swiping it away like a fly. Like that thought, okay, I acknowledge that thought. I'm going to swipe it away. Focus on the breath. Another thought comes by. Swipe it away. I acknowledge it. Swipe it away. Focus on the breath. Now, as you do this, you're going to be getting more and more relaxed, breathing in, breathing out. And, when you start feeling when those thoughts are not as frequent or pretty much going away, then you can start saying something that kind of helps me. This is what I use. You can say whatever you want, but this is kind of what I use to kind of help me understand that I'm now subconscious. I'm no longer logical me. Okay. I am love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. I am love, happiness, peace, bliss, fulfillment. You say those words over and over and over in a calm way. And you focus, and I, like I said, I'm a visual person, so I'm imagining myself like this slide that you're seeing here. My brain has these waves emanating out into the universe, and I'm being connected to it, and I am part of that greater consciousness, and I am part of it. Okay, I'm no longer who I am in the 3D world, but I am part of this greater consciousness, okay, with everything. I feel one with it all, right? And you say these words over and over and over. And sometimes it helps to say, like, I am the creator of my reality. I am the source of my abundance. I am the source of everything, of all my reality, things like that. And I'll say this over and over and over and over and over. And eventually, it's going to be a few minutes. It can be the span of 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. Don't try to time anything, because then you're going to go back to logical mind again. So what I do is I just kind of continue this, and eventually, and this is for me, and this might be different for you, but basically I start feeling kind of a tingling sensation in my head, my brain, sometimes in the spine too. And there's going to be a time when I'm completely relaxed. Okay, I cannot feel my body anymore. Like it's asleep. Okay, but I'm 100% awake, which is it's a really odd sensation. But you're awake, but you're not awake, basically. So your body is asleep. Your logical mind is shut off. and you now have your part. It's your pure consciousness now. And then at this point, this is when you can really affirm the reality that you want. Okay. So, for example, let's say you want more abundance in your life. So you might want to say something like this, like, my business is booming. I am the creator of my reality. My business is booming. Every day, every moment, my wealth increases. Double, triple, every day. New ideas come to me. New opportunities flow to me effortlessly. It is easier for me to make more money doing less because I can provide the quality of things that people seek. It's important to sometimes, like, if you want to. I've tried this new technique as well. Just for these affirmations, I'd like to add because. This kind of helps, kind of sinks in into your reality a little bit better. I don't know. It's just something I've tried. So whatever you want to say. Okay. Let's say your affirmation, the reality you want to create, is on behalf of someone that's maybe having some health problems. Okay. So and so is getting stronger. Her sickness is completely cured. I'm so happy for her. She is so happy. She's so radiating this health. Her body is growing stronger and stronger. The consciousness, the universal consciousness, is flowing through her, and all of her sickness has been eradicated, and she's growing stronger and stronger each day. I'm so happy. We're so happy for that. Something like that. Or if you want, if your reality creation is someone in your life, a special person, an SP, you think about that person. They're so appreciative of me. They're, I'm so loved by this person. We have great connections. We find it so effortlessly to be together, whatever it is, whatever you seek. This is the time you can talk about it, and you can visualize it, feel that emotion, feel that feeling flowing through. You can have visualizations of what that reality would look like. And again, this is you're purely in a deep meditative state. You're not awake at all. Your body's not awake. Your logical brain's turned off, and you just have this direct link to the subconscious, to the universe, which is your basal state anyways, but you just now you're experiencing it. And so you can continue doing this, and if this is like at nighttime and it's time to sleep, then wonderful, drift off into sleep. If this is in the middle of the day and you have time to take a nap and drift off, I'll go to sleep. If you need to get back to do something, like maybe you're doing this in the middle of the day, that's fine. Just kind of slowly ease out of it and say, this is my reality. I'm the creator of my reality. This is the way it is. When I come back to 3D world, this is what's my reality. This is my new reality. And eventually you kind of drift back in slowly. Don't jar. Don't, get up really suddenly, but just slowly feel and ease back into 3D. And that's it. Focus on it. Think about it. Be that. Okay. And completely do not let your 3D world, 3D logical brain, start telling you things like, okay, well, let's see if that client answered. Let's see if that. Just let it go. Let it go. It's already done. Okay. If you're waiting for a client call, again, let's say your assumption was, I'm going to, this person's going to call me. Okay. That's it. That person's going to call you. You don't have to pick up the phone. You don't have to do anything. You don't text message. Just let it happen. Okay. And if it doesn't happen, great. It's unfolding. It's unfolding. It's going to happen sooner or later. And then Later that night, do it again. In the morning, do it again. In the middle of the day, do it again. And so I've been doing this. I've had a couple of deals on the table that I'm trying to work out. One of them died. Then I did this. The next day, I swear to you, the next day, the words that I had, I said, this client is moving so fast. And the next day, one of my business partners had the same words. This client is moving so fast. It's going to close in a week or whatever, So anyways, yeah, this is kind of a free form type of video. Kind of want to talk to you about the mechanics of how these things work. It's how I kind of think of things, my framework. Your framework might be different. I hope it's, give this a try. And I'd love to hear from you. As always, if you want to book a call with me, 30-minute call, free 30-minute call, go to 858consulting.com. Love to hear your thoughts. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Have a great one. I know you will.